think it's under the branch like Catholicism, how it's such a umbrella term, and there's so many things that fall beneath it, to where, generally speaking, if you're Jewish, you're probably not celebrating Christmas. You're probably celebrating what's in your alignment.
Jewish people make up about 2% of the world's population, and they're the original form of what we call Christianity now, and they're not even the predominant source. Oh yeah, about 2 million. No, 2% of the world's population is Jewish. I think 1 out of 3 people in America identify as a Christian, religious, or unidentified, but they consider themselves more Christian.
Like agnostic?
No, I mean, you don't even have to be part of a Christian denomination to consider yourself a Christian. Of course, 2 out of 3 prisoners in prison identify as Christian. Only 1% of people in prison are atheists. And they call me morally corrupt, and I'm an atheist.
I don't think religion has to do
It's
with
funny.
morality. The wars
Oh, I know it
started
doesn't.
because of it, and like,
I think religion enables and creates an environment where violence and abuse is more likely.
yeah, and they'll do it under the name of a god, which is shameful.
I don't think Jim Jones could have gotten away with what he got away with without saying that God speaks through me. It's funny. It's going to be an interesting month. I heard Trump was trying to get rid of a federal holiday because he believes we have too many holidays.
Yeah, I've seen posts about keeping track of his golf days, and I'm like, oh, that's rich.
We're paying for it, by the way. It's funny that he wanted to do away with Juneteenth, this celebration of the end of slavery. Why don't we focus on getting rid of Columbus Day? He didn't land in America, and he created the colonialization and slavery genocide. I vote for getting rid of Columbus Day.
It's getting repackaged as Indigenous Peoples Day. It's taken root more in liberal-leaning states, but at least at schools, the school I teach at, it's not, we don't have a Columbus Day off, we have an Indigenous Peoples Day. And that's what it's at in our calendar, and I think in others, but I know that creates
Inclusion.
friction for people, because they're like, no, it's blah, blah, blah. Or
'Cause,
like, they don't need that. I'm like, oh my gosh, stop.
It's
Or like a
interesting.
crazy rapist does, like, tickets.
It's interesting how a lot of these states, that the more red you are, the more poverty, the more STIs, the more crime,
Worse education.
the worst education, the worst human rights violations, and their morality causes the worst outbreaks of certain things every year.
And an uneducated mass is easier to control and manipulate.
Mississippi and Louisiana are trying to put the 10 Commandments everywhere. I started laughing because it was so funny. Mississippi is the number 1 for chlamydia. I used to live in Alaska. They're the capital of syphilis. Louisiana, I think they're gonorrhea is Alaska. Louisiana is syphilis. Excuse me. But it kind of flops every year. Like it's always those 3 every time. And they want to erect 10 Commandments.
Well, when you don't have proper sex education happening, and what you're being taught is like simply abstain, and you're not being taught other proper ways to keep yourself safe if you're going to engage in sex, like that's what happens. It's why a proper education and not solely relying on what parents will teach their kids is essential to ensuring the population knows how to reasonably manage itself.
I
When
mean,
it's removed. And Republican states are so afraid of the agenda that scary teachers bring to the table about things that they don't want
I think,
their kids to know.
well, we found out during the 1980s, during Reagan, what happens when abstinence only is taught in class. The AIDS crisis. And the problem with not teaching kids about these things is not even half of the 50 states, only 22 states require consent to be taught in school, and that the facts of sex ed have to be factual. Only 22 states require fact-based, and less